Okay, I'm going to talk about carrying a knife in a sheath. And I typically use a sheath if I'm going to carry a knife on the larger side, a folding knife on the larger side. This one you see here is a large Sebenza, and I took the clip off. Let that focus in. And fits very nicely in this sheath. Easy to get out, but enough retention, and I can do it either way. I kind of like that. And this was made by Bob Schrap. I did an earlier video on knife sheath options and went through a bunch of options, including some sheaths made by him. I've recently acquired another sheath, and I'll overlay. This came from Canada, and I'll overlay in the video the name of the folks that I got it from. And this sheath is also a vertical carry sheath, and it's a beautiful piece of work, and it came with a very tight fit. So what I've done is I've got two of these 0560s. I've got this standard one, and then I've got the limited edition one. What I did was I put some, this is going to be very tight to get out, so I can demonstrate this. I put some tape around it, and I taped a business card to it to make it a little bit thicker, and to kind of train this and stretch it out a little bit, because I don't like a real tight fit. And so what happens is, let me get the other knife. You do that and you leave it in for, you test it periodically, and what happens is, pull this back out, all of a sudden the knife without the card makes it nice, relatively easy to retract, but still good retention. So you can play around with the thickness of the taping and what business card you put on it, and get this so that the tension is just the way you want it. Now, which one will I use? I like both of the knives. I really like this limited edition 0560. This one is a smoother titanium on this side, and it is carbon fiber on this side. I really like this knife. Deploys very easily. But I'll tell you what, I really like the way the Sebenza carries on the belt. I barely even can tell it's here. And I had this made specially so that it conceals more of the knife, so that the knife won't bump on things. But yet I have the lanyard on here so I can get it right out and very easily deploy the knife. So I'll tell you, I'm going to try this carry option some and test it out. But my guess is I'll be carrying the tried and true Sebenza. But again, if you're carrying a larger knife, I definitely like a sheath. I don't like clipping it to the belt. I've got on the other side here, let me flip this over. On the other side here, I've got a Kershaw Knockout. Again, very easy knife to deploy. And relatively light, very thin knife, very easy to carry in here. And I stretched this clip out a little bit so it wasn't quite the tension, so that I can easily get it out. And yet it isn't going to come out accidentally, but I can easily deploy it. I don't like too much tension on these clips, because otherwise you can't deploy the thing. Then, of course, you can see I've got my Olight flashlight, and I've got my Victorinox Swiss tool here, which I've talked about these before in previous videos. Just search on my website. But for my, I'm left-handed, for in effect my strong side, which is over here. I'm very pleased with the Sebenza with that vertical sheath. Now I also have a horizontal sheath here that I can use. This was also made by Bob Schrap, that I can also use to carry the 0560. Let that focus in. But I tried this, and I really don't like this on my belt. It just gets in the way of the seat belt and so forth. when I'm in the car, this thing just disappears. The seatbelt just goes right over it, it latches. It just doesn't get in the way and on the seat in the car. You got to think about all these things. You know, if it's not practical and it's not comfortable, and you're not going to have it on your person, then it's of no good at all. You know, if it's at home, what good is the tool? So think about those things and make your decisions. Try out different options. Again, I'm going to try this one on the belt and see how I like it. But you can see it's bigger this way, widthwise. It's a little bit thicker and it's longer. So it's bigger in every dimension. Of course, this is a bigger knife. Compare the two knives. Try to get that in the shot. This is a bigger knife, clearly bigger in every dimension. But that's one thing that's nice about a Sebenza, is a Sebenza, the size of the blade for the size of the knife is a good sized blade. The cutting surface is not that much different. Yet when it's closed, the Sebenza is a much more compact unit. So it's food for thought. You know, think about what you're carrying and the size of it, and are you actually going to have that with you when you need it? And that's a key thought process. So put your comments in the, share your comments, what you carry and why, how you carry it. Do you carry it every day? I'd be interested to know. Thanks.